You just spent 2 hours with a friend, a good friend, someone you genuinely care about. So why do you feel like you just ran a marathon? Your body is exhausted, your mind is foggy. You need to lie in a dark room for 3 hours just to feel like yourself again. And here's the worst part. You feel guilty for feeling this way, because they didn't do anything wrong, they're not a bad person, the conversation was fine, normal even. So why does it feel like they just drained your soul? Let me show you exactly what's happening, and I promise, once you understand this, you'll stop blaming yourself for needing space from people you love. Here's what nobody tells you about human connection. Not all relationships are energetically equal. Some people fill your cup, some people drain it, and some people, the ones who confuse you the most, do both at the same time. This isn't about introversion or extroversion. This isn't about whether you like people or not. This is about energy exchange, and most people have no idea it's even happening. Think about the last time you hung out with someone and came home feeling lighter, more inspired, more like yourself. That's what balanced energy exchange feels like. Now think about the person who leaves you feeling hollow, exhausted. Like you just gave a presentation to a hostile audience for 2 hours straight. Stop. Think about that. You weren't just socializing, you were performing. And your nervous system knows the difference. Here's the thing that changes everything. The exhaustion you feel isn't coming from the interaction itself. It's coming from what your body had to do to survive the interaction. Your nervous system was working overtime, monitoring, adjusting, protecting, people-pleasing, suppressing, all while you smiled and nodded and pretended everything was fine. That's not friendship. That's emotional labor. And you've been doing it for free. Let me break down the 5 specific patterns that are draining your energy, and why you haven't been able to name them until now. Pattern number 1, the conversational black hole. You know this person. Every topic somehow becomes about them. You mention your promotion, they launch into their career struggles. You share something vulnerable, they one-up your pain with their own story. It's not that they don't care, it's that they're psychologically incapable of holding space for you. Here's what's really happening. Their nervous system is so dysregulated, so hungry for validation, that any attention not focused on them feels like abandonment. So you learn to shrink, you edit your stories, you make yourself smaller so they can feel bigger. And your body? Your body is screaming, because every time you suppress what you actually want to say, you're betraying yourself. And self-betrayal is one of the most exhausting things a human being can do. Pattern number 2, the emotional vampire, but not how you think. This isn't about someone who complains a lot. This is about someone who uses you as their emotional regulation system. They don't come to you to process their feelings. They come to you to discharge them. Every interaction is a crisis. Every problem is urgent. Every feeling must be felt right now, with you as the audience. Let me show you exactly what's happening in your nervous system during these interactions. You're not just listening, you're absorbing. Their anxiety becomes your anxiety. Their panic becomes your responsibility. Their emotional chaos becomes your problem to solve. And here's the cruel part. When you try to offer solutions, they reject them. Because they don't actually want solutions. They want you to carry the weight with them. This is uncomfortable, but important. You cannot regulate someone else's nervous system long term. You can co-regulate temporarily, that's healthy. But when someone repeatedly uses you as their emotional dumping ground, you become their unpaid therapist. And you're exhausted because therapy is a professional service that requires training, boundaries, and compensation for a reason. Pattern number 3, the subtle invalidator. This one is sneaky, because on the surface, they seem supportive, but pay attention to how you feel after you share something important with them. You tell them about your new project, they say, "That's great," but then immediately, "Have you thought about all the ways it could fail?" You share your excitement, they play devil's advocate. You express a boundary, they respond with, "You're so sensitive." They're not protecting you. They're protecting themselves from the discomfort of your growth, your joy, your expansion. Here's the truth. Some people are so trapped in their own limitations that your possibilities feel like a personal attack, so they subtly undermine you. Not with cruelty, that would be obvious, with concern, with just being realistic, with questions designed to plant doubt, and you walk away feeling smaller, less certain, like maybe you're wrong to want the things you want. That exhaustion isn't from the conversation, it's from fighting for your right to take up space. If these patterns are clicking for you right now, if you're thinking, "Oh my God, that's what's been happening," this is exactly why I create this content every week. I break down the psychological patterns that nobody else is talking about. the subtle dynamics that drain you, the invisible labor you've been doing without even realizing it. Subscribe so you never miss insights like these, because understanding why you feel the way you feel, that's the first step to getting your energy back. Every week I'm here helping you decode your relationships, your nervous system, and the patterns keeping you stuck. Hit that subscribe button. You deserve to understand yourself this clearly all the time. Now, let's keep going, because we're just getting started. Pattern number 4, the boundary pusher. You say no, they hear convince me. You say you're tired, they say just one more hour. You express a preference, they make you defend it like you're in court. These people don't respect your boundaries because your boundaries threaten their access to you. And here's what's happening in your body every single time. You have to fight for your own limits. You have to justify your needs. You have to prove that your no is legitimate. That's not a friendship, that's a negotiation. And negotiations are exhausting. The worst part? They often frame their boundary pushing as care. I just want to spend time with you. I'm just trying to help. Why are you being so rigid? They're not being loving, they're being entitled to your time, your energy, your emotional bandwidth, and you're drained because you're spending the entire interaction defending your right to have needs. Pattern number 5, the emotional unpredictability. You never know which version of them you're going to get. Sometimes they're warm, engaged, fully present. Sometimes they're cold, distant, irritable, and you can't figure out the pattern. So you start managing them instead of enjoying the relationship. You monitor their mood, you adjust your energy to match theirs. You walk on eggshells, trying not to trigger whatever unnamed thing might set them off. Let me show you what's really happening. You've become their emotional thermostat. Your nervous system is in constant assessment mode, scanning for danger, reading micro-expressions, adjusting your behavior to keep the peace. This is the definition of hypervigilance, and hypervigilance is what your body does in threatening environments. You're not paranoid, you're not overthinking. Your nervous system is trying to keep you safe from someone whose emotional instability has made them unsafe, and that is why you're so tired. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your nervous system during these draining interactions. Your autonomic nervous system has 3 primary states: ventral vagal, safe and social; sympathetic, fight or flight; and dorsal vagal, shut down. In healthy relationships, you spend most of your time in ventral vagal. You feel safe, your nervous system can relax, you can be authentic without performing. But with these draining people, your nervous system never fully settles. It's constantly oscillating between sympathetic activation. I need to monitor this person, I need to protect myself, I need to manage this interaction, and dorsal shutdown. I can't keep doing this, I need to disappear, I need to go home and sleep for 12 hours. You're not actually tired from the socializing, you're tired from the constant threat assessment. Dr. Stephen Porges, who developed polyvagal theory, explains that our nervous systems are constantly asking one question: am I safe? And with certain people the answer is always, not quite. Not because they're dangerous, but because they're unpredictable, emotionally dysregulated, subtly invalidating, boundary resistant. Your nervous system doesn't trust them, so it never relaxes. And here's the thing that changes everything. This isn't happening in your head, it's happening in your body. You can't think your way into feeling safe with someone your nervous system has identified as a threat. You can't logic your way into relaxation. Your body is giving you information, and that information is, this relationship costs more than it gives. The exhaustion is the bill. Listen to me carefully. You are not being dramatic. You're not too sensitive. You're not making it a bigger deal than it is. You're not failing at friendship because certain people drain you. Your nervous system is functioning exactly as it should. It's detecting incompatibility. It's sensing emotional labor. It's protecting you from relationships that require you to abandon yourself just to maintain connection. You deserve to know this. The guilt you feel, the "they're not that bad" thoughts, the "maybe I'm the problem" spirals, those are symptoms of relational gaslighting, not necessarily intentional gaslighting from them, but you've been gaslighting yourself. You've been overriding your body's clear signals because you were taught that being a good person means tolerating discomfort in relationships. But here's the truth. Being a good person doesn't mean lighting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. The fact that you're struggling with these relationships doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're a person with needs, boundaries, and nervous system responses that are trying to guide you towards safety. You're not failing at connection, you're succeeding at self-awareness. And the exhaustion you feel? That's not weakness. That's your body begging you to listen. Some relationships aren't meant to be maintained at the cost of your well-being. Some people aren't your responsibility to fix, manage, or endure. You're not abandoning them by protecting your energy. You're honoring yourself. And that's not selfish. It's survival. Here are 5 specific actionable steps to protect your energy and reclaim your relationships. Step 1. Track your energy. For the next 2 weeks, keep a simple energy log. After each social interaction, rate your energy on a scale of 1-10. Write down who you were with and how you feel. Don't analyze it yet. Just collect data. Your body already knows who drains you. You're just learning to listen to what it's been trying to tell you. After 2 weeks, you'll see patterns. The friend who always leaves you at a 3. The colleague who consistently brings you to an 8. The family member who crashes you to a 1. This isn't gossip. This is information. And information gives you power. Step 2. Name the dynamic. Once you've identified the draining relationships, name what specifically is draining about them. Is it the conversational black hole, the emotional dumping, the boundary pushing, the invalidation? Write it down. Be specific. When I'm with person, I notice that I specific behavior feeling. This happens because pattern you've identified. Here's why this matters. You can't change what you can't name. Vague discomfort keeps you stuck. Specific awareness gives you agency. Once you can say, this person consistently invalidates my feelings and I spend the entire conversation defending my reality, you can decide what to do about it. Step 3. Implement strategic distance. This is uncomfortable, but important. Not all relationships deserve equal access to you. You don't have to cut people off. You don't have to have a dramatic confrontation. You don't have to explain yourself. You just have to create space. Respond to texts a little slower. Suggest shorter hangouts. See them in group settings instead of one-on-one. Reduce the frequency. Give yourself permission to ration your energy. You're not being mean. You're being sustainable. There's a difference. Some relationships can only be healthy in smaller doses, and that's okay. Step 4. Practice the energy audit. Before saying yes, before you agree to plans, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Do I have the energy for this right now? 2. Will this interaction fill me or drain me? 3. Am I saying yes out of genuine desire or obligation? If the honest answer is drain and obligation, you're allowed to decline. I'm not available that day is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone a detailed explanation for protecting your well-being. Your time is not a public resource. Stop treating it like everyone has equal claim to it. Step 5. Build an energy sanctuary. Routine. After interactions with draining people, you need a re-regulation ritual. This isn't optional. This is nervous system hygiene. Create a post-social recovery routine. 20 minutes alone in silence. Physical movement to discharge the stress. Walk, stretch, shake it out. Grounding technique. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sensory exercise. Journaling the interaction to process what happened. Something that makes you feel like yourself again. Music, shower, your favorite show. Your nervous system needs time to recalibrate after threat assessment mode. Give it that time. This isn't being antisocial. This is being responsible for your own regulation. Imagine this. You're getting ready to meet a friend for coffee, and for the first time in years, you feel light. Not anxious about what you'll talk about, not pre-drafting conversation topics, not bracing for impact, just excited. Because you've learned to surround yourself with people who don't require you to perform. People who let you be quiet when you're quiet. People who celebrate your wins without making them about themselves. That's what changes when you start protecting your energy. You stop feeling guilty for needing space. You stop forcing relationships that cost more than they give. You stop lighting yourself on fire to keep others warm. You start noticing how good it feels to be around people who add to your life instead of subtracting from it. Your friendships become lighter, easier, more reciprocal. You're not walking on eggshells. You're not monitoring anyone's mood. You're not suppressing yourself to make room for someone else's chaos. You're just present, yourself, alive. And the exhaustion, it starts to fade. Not because you became less sensitive, but because you stopped betraying your own needs for the comfort of people who weren't honoring you anyway. You deserve relationships that energize you, connections that feel like coming home, not going to battle. And once you clear space from the people who drain you, you finally have room for the people who see you. If you made it this far, you're ready for real change. You've just invested nearly 12 minutes in understanding yourself better, in learning to honor your nervous system, in recognizing that your exhaustion is information, not failure. Join us as we continue breaking these patterns together. This community is full of people on the same journey, learning to protect their energy, set boundaries without guilt, and build relationships that actually nourish them, instead of drain them. Subscribe to be part of this ongoing transformation, because you're not alone in this, and you deserve ongoing support as you reclaim your energy and your life. Hit that subscribe button. You belong here. Welcome home. Here's your challenge for this week. Do the energy tracking exercise. That's it. After every social interaction for the next 7 days, rate your energy 1-10 and write down who you were with. No judgment. No action yet. Just data collection. Because here's the truth. You can't protect your energy until you know where it's going. And once you have that information, everything changes. You're not broken for needing space from certain people. You're not failing at connection. You're learning to honor the truth your body has been trying to tell you all along. Your energy is precious. Your nervous system is wise. Your exhaustion is not a character flaw. It's a compass. And now you know how to read it. Subscribe as you commit to this transformation. Share this with someone who needs permission to protect their energy. Comment below and tell me which pattern hit hardest. I read every single one. You deserve relationships that fill your cup, not drain it. And that journey, it starts with the courage to listen to what your body already knows. Go reclaim your energy. I'll be here next week with more tools to help you do exactly that.